Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping in to talk to me. I'm Christina, in case you haven't seen me introduce myself in previous videos. I am just out for a walk, and the topic I'm thinking of this morning is how to pick up and start over when you kind of blew it. how do we get up and get going when we've stalled out? So I think of life often as a journey with a vehicle. And so, as we all know, our vehicles need maintenance, right? And also, there are so many times that even with regular maintenance, something breaks. You know, the brakes go or the transmission blows, something happens, and we need, we pull over. We have to go in the shop and get fixed. Sometimes a tire, right? A tire blows, and we have a flat tire, and so we have to pull over. And it's I've heard before, as far as ships, that it's much easier to direct a ship that is already moving than one that is parked in port. And so that is the truth. We often end up pulling over. Even if we're discouraged, sometimes we just pull over to regroup, and then it's hard to get started again. It's hard. My hair's falling out, so I'm just gonna let it down. It's hard to get started again and get going. So how do you do it? How do you pick up and get started again when you've had a flat tire in life or when you have pulled over to regroup and then find yourself having a hard time to get going again? Or let's say you run out of gas, right? How many times has that happened to you? Ever run out of gas? Sometimes we run out of gas, and so we have to hoof it and walk to a gas station if we don't have a nearby friend to call. Either way, we're sitting there waiting for rescue or having to get out of the car, walk, and go get some gas, get a gas can, fill it up. It all takes time. And so then when we get back on track, takes a little time. Now in a car, you just kind of rev it up and you get back on the highway and you go, but sometimes you lose sight of your direction. And so whether it's a weight loss, or healthy eating habits, sometimes we're on a really good streak of healthy eating habits, and then we go on vacation, or we have guests, or there's a holiday, and you get knocked off. It's hard to start again. Is it hard for you? It's hard for me to start over. But what we need to do, and even with the YouTube, let's say, for me, it's been a couple of weeks since I posted. I really want to do 30, 60, 90 days in a row to build up my channel, to just get, start getting used to sharing messages that, just encouragement, whatever it is that's on my heart to share. And obviously, the name of my channel is my Imperfect Wellness Adventure, Imperfect Progress. And so that is what I feel like is a message for the world that people need to hear. That it's okay when we make mistakes. It's okay when we kind of fall flat, but we got to get back up. We got to get back at it. So I'm wondering what you do to get yourself back in a good mindset when you've stalled out or you've had a flat tire and you need to get going again. And right now my shoulder hurts. I don't have any fancy gadgets right now for videotaping, and I do like to, when I walk and talk, it seems to be my brain processes things better, and so it helps me to put into words the things that are in my mind. And so I'm thinking of that, and I think that the best thing to do is to get back up. I'm just going to turn around here because I hear a lot of noise over there, so I'm just going to walk back this way in the shade. Just get back at it, right? Just get started again. And I have to, I encourage myself, and sometimes we can reach out to others and be like, hey, I need some motivation or inspiration. But often, prayer, obviously, when I say myself, I talk about me and God. me talking to God, me listening to the Lord and saying, okay, it's time to restart. And it just seems like when I want to do that, there's just all this resistance, right? And they say, which I haven't got there yet with working out in the gym, that resistance training is the best for building muscle. But it's also repetition, it's also doing it regularly. And so I just want to encourage you today, reflect a minute on your progress. And that's what I'm doing. I'm reflecting a little bit on my progress, seeing where I've come from, still looking ahead to where I'm wanting to go, whether it's in my spiritual walk or it's in my health. My health is a big, thank God. I'm so grateful for good health, but in this stage of life, it's the thyroid issues I'm dealing with. And so I'm doing my research, talking to my doctors, trying all the healthy, natural things, and also a way of eating that can address and help. So I'm looking at my progress and also moving forward with it and just taking the next step. So that's what I just want to encourage you with today. Just keep going. If you've fallen flat, get back up. If you need a hand to help lift you up, ask for help. Ask for someone. Say, listen, I know I'm not in a good mindset. Could you come talk, or do you have a minute to help me, work this out? There are people in your life, I'm certain. And if not, there are people on YouTube. I know there's a lot of great community of people and wanting to help and lift each other up. And so I encourage you to do that if you need somebody. But I'll also encourage you to look to your wonderful counselor. So often we do look to other people, and they're there for their gifts to us. People and family and friends and church members are gifts to us, but they are not God. And sometimes we make them idols. That's an ouchie. That steps on some people's toes, because sometimes our children, our spouse, our best friend, our counselors, that we pay to go see, they sometimes become an idol because we depend on them more than we depend on God. They all have a place, so I'm not saying anything against them, because I've gone to a therapist myself, and when I needed it, it was awesome. And but I say, make sure you put God in his first place. So again, as I like to say, it's become a theme for me, and I hope that it's a blessing to you, that perfect is overrated, but progress is where it's at. So I'd love to hear from you. What areas have you been making progress, or maybe where have you fallen flat and need help getting back up? And we can go from there and see what the future holds.